It is the most popular political system in the world, present in more than half of the countries, synonym of progress and prosperity. An ingenious mechanism that guarantees freedom and rights to its citizens, as well as promoting a more egalitarian and evolved society. It is also one of the greatest legacies of the ancient Greek civilization. We are obviously talking about democracy. Democracy is a political system in which the people elect their representatives by voting. In its most widespread definition, it is the government of the people. A system where the citizens have the sovereignty to choose their own destiny. But how does it work exactly? Well, first of all, the people must select the best candidates among themselves. They must be capable, wise, and committed with their fellow countrymen's needs. They must be the best of the best, the crème de la crème. After all, these are the ones who will be responsible for solving the country's problems in the coming years, as well as protecting the people from the greed of any ambitious interest group. Once the candidates are established, the campaign starts. This is the period where the future leaders must promote themselves to compete for the voters' trust. You see, in order to be elected, a candidate must win the majority of votes, and to do so, he or she must reach and convince as many people as possible. This is not a simple process, nor cheap. There are many expenses involved like rallies, flights, accommodation, radio, television and social media advertisements, billboards, gifts, assistants, PR people, marketeers, and so on. But how would our candidates get the money to finance such an endeavor? That's right, campaign donors. Fortunate dynasties, large corporations, monopolies, financial market speculators, foreign nations, banks, or any other altruistic group interested in promoting a better society. This mechanism is very important to prevent corruption and promote a fair competition, since the candidates that stay true to their values and fellow countrymen and don't accept donations to not get compromised with the donor's interests will have the same chance in the dispute than the ones who accept it. This way we pre-select the most honest and get rid of the corrupts right at the start of the campaign. If campaign selects the most unblemished characters, lobby only reinforces their moral demeanors, since the unpretentious contributions of the lobbyist benefactors to Congress and government guarantees that the elected politicians remain faithful to the people. You see, by allowing this healthy interference of donors and lobbyists in the process, we make sure that the people's will always prevail and that donations will never overpower the votes. After all, the patrons always have the people's best interest on their minds instead of their own. This way we make sure that we won't have a bunch of infiltrated puppets in positions of power working on behalf of the super-rich overlords like in a plutocracy, or benefiting opportunists with privileges in bidings and overpriced contracts on the expense of the taxpayers like in a kleptocracy. The result is a highly approved and trustworthy system that never raises suspicions or causes any dissatisfaction among its citizens. Since the political patrons have no influence over the country's policies, the voters can rest assured that they will always be looked after by their representatives, who are there to serve them. This way, people can focus on their personal lives and dreams instead of worrying about all of society's problems. They are the priority and no one is above them. Even in the rare cases where there is a conflict of interest, the patrons are never privileged by the representatives to the detriment of the citizens. After all, this is a government of the people. Once elected, the new leaders implement the most reasonable and efficient measures to develop the country, which includes the responsible spending of taxpayers' resources to improve the citizens' lives, like investing in the infrastructure, the combat against monopolies, the protection against the embezzlement of hard-won rights, and implementation of mechanisms to prevent the transfer of wealth from the people to the elites, which could lead to an unsustainable inequality that would eventually compromise the country's economy and undermine the public's trust in the government and its institutions. In other words, it's a fair and corruption-proof system, where campaign donations don't guarantee protection or privileges for the donors. That's why the super-rich and big corporations pay just as much tax as the poorest, for instance. Everyone is treated the same and no one is above the others. Democracy offers equal opportunities and rights to all and ensures that the voice of the people is always heard. Furthermore, the perfect alignment of the politicians with the wishes of the people never leads them to question the suitability of their leaders or the true representativeness of the vote. It's the perfect system, totally designed to serve its happy and fortunate citizens. That's why democratic societies are so functional and offer so many advantages to the people, such as free or affordable healthcare, jobs, low life costs, prosperity, no homeless population, no chemical escapism from a dystopic nightmare, no digital hedonism, low rates of depression, public safety, transparency, controlled inflation and low public debt, excellent education, low inequality, freedom of speech, and privacy. After all, contrary to tyrannical systems, democracies never spy on their people, for privacy and freedom are some of its most sacred values. Some critics may look at the system and ask, hey, does power really lies in the vote, or is it just an appeasing mechanism to calm the people and give them false hopes for changes that will never come? Are we really choosing our leaders, or are we just endorsing someone else's pre-selected puppets? The grumpier ones may even say,
democracy is about voting for the candidates of campaign donors and lobbyists, but still having the naivety to believe that they represent us.
That's so untrue. Without their money, elections would not be possible and there would be no democracy whatsoever. We must be thankful to the benefactors, yes. Another great advantage of democracies is the non-dissociation between government and state. Since the government is not changed every 4 years, democracies are much more stable and less immediate than other models, as they are not subject to the moods of electoral cycles. They govern for the country and not for the election. This allows for the implementation of long-term state policies that are above ideological positions and infighting between parties. What's more, not alternating power between political extremes every 4 years is excellent for the country's image and inspires trust in its allies. The absence of competence requirements from the electoral process also guarantees the selection of the most prepared candidates, preventing the rise of histrionic and inept individuals. The truth is that people always choose their leaders rationally, never being inebriated by emotions or the herd behavior, and therefore tends to favor competence over charisma. Merit is rewarded, only the best make it to the top. And what about the debates? It's also reassuring to see the candidates discussing the country's main problems with rationality and mutual respect, rather than turning the opportunity into a mere dominant altercation. Finally, the excessive freedom of democracies make them much less susceptible to subversive techniques on the part of their opponents. In the age of communication and the internet, where crowds are easily manipulated, this is crucial to guaranteeing the country's security and preventing constant changes of government. With all that said, why should we defend it? Because by enforcing promoting democracy around the world, we ensure the establishment of the most capable nationalist and sovereign leaderships in each country, rather than surrenderist puppets. This is important for promoting our values, bringing stability to other nations, and making the world a safer place. It also helps prevent that some politicians sell out their countries for pennies on the dollar, while the people pay the price. After all, the people are all that matter.